In today's show, Paul Tudor Jones to be the biggest Bitcoin holder in 2 years, according to Max Keiser. Outspoken Bitcoin investor and host of the Keiser Report, Max Keiser, explains that his $400,000 Bitcoin price prediction will coincide with the US dollar's collapse. That's right. In this recent interview, he was asked, do you see the stock market hitting new all-time highs this year? What does this mean for Bitcoin, your Bitcoin price target by 2021? And Max Keiser responded, the US stock market will probably hit new highs, just like the markets hit new highs in Venezuela, Zimbabwe, and Iran, not because companies are doing well, but because the currencies are collapsing. And he goes on to share, my target for Bitcoin since 2011 has been $100,000, and I recently upped that to $400,000. The timing depends on when exactly the US dollar collapses. I'll be sharing this full exclusive interview highlights here with you in today's show, as well as Max Keiser's bullish price predictions. Also, in today's episode, Bitcoin prime for big move to the upside, says former Goldman Sachs VP. And here is why. Check this out. According to Koifman, Bitcoin is already well positioned to rally on its own, and he believes a weak dollar would propel the top crypto past its all-time high of about $20,000. I'll be breaking this down for you in today's show. We'll also be taking a look at what some crypto analysts have to share, including Josh Rager, who wrote, nothing much has changed. Watch for reclaim of 95.50 and then 9800 for the bulls. Watch for a break below 92.50 short term. And if things get serious, 8,500 for the bears. I'll be giving you the full breakdown here in today's show. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin and all the major altcoins are back in the red. Where's the Bitcoin price likely to go from here? Find out all this, plus so much more in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. So be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts. And before we kick off today's show, if interested in learning from the Wall Street legend himself, Teeka Tiwari, who picked Apple back in 2003 and Bitcoin in 2016, as he shares his number one pick for the 2020s, they're calling it the investment of the decade. Right now, there is a mad rush in corporate America. It involves Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. They're all betting on a new technology that the World Economic Forum projects will soar 295,000% over 7 years. But it's not AI, the Internet of Things, or 5G. To discover what it is, click the link below this video in the description and watch this exclusive presentation by the one and only Teeka Tiwari. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV, and let's kick it off by diving into today's top story of the day. Paul Tudor Jones to be the biggest Bitcoin holder in 2 years, according to Max Keiser. Cointelegraph Markets spoke with Wall Street veteran and host of the Keiser Report, Max Keiser, who explains the increasingly important role of Bitcoin in geopolitics amid potential hash wars, and why he believes Paul Tudor Jones will become the biggest holder of Bitcoin within 2 years. Here's some of the questions asked to him in this exclusive interview. Your 200,000 plus follower Twitter account, Max Keiser, was silent for a few months. What happened? Keiser responded, it was a software bug that froze the account for 9 months. I believe it was a database contention problem. My friend Swan Bitcoin took on the challenge and sorted it out. I also sent 24 roses and a box of chocolates to Twitter HQ in San Francisco, but I'm not sure that had any impact. Now, the next question, the United States national debt is now over 26 trillion. Is there a certain level at which the US can default? Max Keiser responded, the debt is big, but the interest on the debt is now bigger than Americans' number one budget item, the military's $1.6 trillion spend. When the interest on the debt gets close to 100% of the GDP, then America will officially be a failed state. This looks like it will be the case within 5 years, as short interest rates snap back to historic levels of 5%, not currently 0.5%. Next question, post-halving, Bitcoin's inflation rate is now less than 2% akin to gold or the Fed's inflation target. Is this do or die for Bitcoin now as a store of value? Max Keiser responded, let's be clear. Bitcoin exhibits quantum mechanical characteristics pertaining to outcomes changing depending on observation. Per the Heisenberg principle, the observer's act of observing changes outcomes. In Bitcoin's case, it's Bitcoin that's observing us. As I've argued before, starting at around block 300,000, I started noticing that Bitcoin was becoming self-aware. This has grown exponentially to a state of meta-awareness. And so instead of asking, is it time for Bitcoin to prove itself? We should be asking ourselves, what do we have to do as a species to prove we're worthy of Bitcoin? This is why my Bitcoin VC fund is called Heisenberg Capital. As an aside, it's outperformed every fund globally since inception in 2013 to today. And the next question, will the US-China tensions and other geopolitical risk continue to put pressure on risk on assets and possibly affect Bitcoin? Max Keiser responded, China, America, Russia, and Iran will enter a hash war to try to grab as much Bitcoin as possible. Iran is already mining Bitcoin. I believe they have 3% of the hash rate. This is another Sputnik moment where America has to decide if they want to win the hash war or get regulated to the dustbin of history. Next question, do you agree with Paul Tudor Jones announcing his Bitcoin exposure is a major green light for traditional investors? Is this a watershed moment? If not, what will it be? Keiser responded, I think PTJ, Paul Tudor Jones, who I followed closely when I was a stockbroker on Wall Street from 1983, which FYI is when I was born, to 1990, will be the biggest hodler of Bitcoin within 2 years. He is an absolute mercenary if he sees something he likes. And he goes on to share, the Bitcoin community has never seen the likes of Paul Tudor Jones and will be shocked by his take no prisoners audacity. Next question, you recently said that basic consumer protection is appropriate in the case of Bitcoin Cash fraud. Can you elaborate on this? Keiser goes on to share, none of the hard forks and none of the altcoins will attract enough energy to survive. It's a winner-take-all game, and Bitcoin is not only starving alts of energy, but also starving fiat money, and they're sponsoring nation-states of energy. Bitcoin is an indestructible Godzilla with an insatiable appetite for energy that is transforming the world and everything that lives. Regulators should warn people about failed projects like Bitcoin Cash, but the more likely scenario is that both Bitcoin Cash and the regulators go bankrupt due to a Bitcoin envisceration. You hear that? So hard forks of the Bitcoin network, such as Satoshi Vision and Bitcoin Cash, he feels are going to go under. Those are his thoughts coming from a Bitcoin maximalist. I'd love to know your thoughts surrounding the hard forks of the Bitcoin network as well. Personally, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin Cash or Satoshi Vision, so long live Bitcoin and let's short the bankers. Next question, you've also been very vocal about Ethereum, criticizing Vitalik Buterin for failing to understand Bitcoin's value proposition. What does he get wrong about Bitcoin? And Max goes on to share, when I was chatting with Vitalik in London, he was still working at Bitcoin Magazine at the time and planning Ethereum. He didn't get how absolute scarcity drives the Bitcoin market. He still doesn't get it. He's repeatedly downplayed absolute scarcity, so I never believed he really understood how Bitcoin works. Funny, because the problems Ethereum has is that it's centralized variable supply fiat substitute that has all the problems of fiat money. And he goes on to share, ironically, Ethereum is trying to be fiat money and failing. So next question. So I take it you're not a fan of Ethereum 2.0 and its roadmap? Keiser responded, it's a Rube Goldberg machine to nowhere. Next question. You've recently spoken with Bitcoin and Black America author Isaiah Jackson on your show. Why is this book so significant and timely right now with the current social unrest in the US? How does Bitcoin help blacks in America? Max Keiser responded, Bitcoin helps the biggest victims of fiat money the most. America's black community is the biggest victims of America's fiat money, so they potentially are the biggest winners as Bitcoin pushes out fiat and becomes the global reserve currency. I said on the Keiser Report back when Bitcoin was $1 that America's black community should buy up all the Bitcoin they can, and then they could buy the white community if they chose to. Very powerful words. Next question. Major banks are now changing their tune about Bitcoin, most notably JP Morgan. Why do you think this is the case and this will be a continuing trend? Max responded, you don't change Bitcoin. Bitcoin changes you. Per the Heisenberg principle effect and the existence of self-aware Bitcoin, with this in mind, I helped direct Bitcoin's attention to Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan by effectively painting the target. The protocol cracked that nut, and now Jamie's a Bitcoin drone. The same thing is happening to Peter Schiff. Next question. Do you see the stock market hitting new all-time highs this year? What does this mean for Bitcoin and your Bitcoin price target by 2021? Max Keiser responded, Now listen up. The U.S. stock market will probably hit new highs, just like the markets hit new highs in Venezuela, Zimbabwe, and Iran, not because companies are doing well, but because the currencies are collapsing. And he goes on to share, my target for Bitcoin since 2011 has been $100,000, and I recently upped that to $400,000. The timing depends on when exactly the U.S. dollar collapses. It could happen any day. Better to be a few months early than a day late. Wouldn't you agree? When the dollar cracks, Bitcoin price gaps higher by 10,000 at a clip. If you're not already positioned, you'll be eating dirt. So let me know your thoughts surrounding Max Keiser's bullish price predictions. Do you feel the Bitcoin price will crack $100,000 or even $400,000? And when do you feel it will happen? Drop me a comment right down below. And now for our next story of the day. Bitcoin prime for big move to the upside, says former Goldman Sachs VP. Here's why. And before we break this down, let's take a look at the overall crypto market. We can see Bitcoin in the red. We broke below that $9,400 support, which we were stuck at for quite some time, currently trading at just below $9,300. All the major altcoins are also back in the red, with Ethereum down 1%, trading at $228. Link, one of the few altcoins actually in the green, up about 1% for the day, trading at $4.17. I know I've said this before, but I personally feel a couple of the most undervalued altcoins in the market, in my opinion, are Ethereum and Chainlink, considered to be the missing link of the blockchain. XRP down 0.86%, trading at 18.7 cents, and Miss Litecoin down 1%, trading at $43. All right, now for our next story of the day, let's break it down. Former Goldman Sachs executive Rob Koifman says Bitcoin is ripe for a big rally after months of consolidation. Koifman, who is now the founder and CEO of markets intelligence firm Koifman, says the Fed's resolve to print U.S. dollars and prop up the economy may end up weakening the world's reserve currency and giving Bitcoin a serious boost. Here's what he's quoted sharing. The Fed's commitment to prolonged use of quantitative easing may represent a major turning point for the U.S. dollar. Over the past 30 years, the U.S. dollar has formed three distinct tops in 1985, 2000, and potentially in 2020. A break below the trend line could confirm a major decline for the U.S. dollar, with implications across asset classes. According to Koifman, Bitcoin is already well positioned to rally on its own, and he believes a weak dollar would propel Bitcoin past its all-time high of about $20,000. Here's what he had to share. Bitcoin is setting up to have a significant move higher, and a weaker U.S. dollar would be a strong tailwind. Bitcoin has consolidated over the past 2 years and is primed to make a big move higher. U.S. dollar weakness may be a catalyst for Bitcoin breaking out to new highs. Meanwhile, trader Josh Rager expects the bulls and the bears to continue slugging it out until one side captures key levels. He says the key level of support now stands at 92.50. Taking a look at his tweet here on crypto Twitter, nothing much has changed. Watch for reclaim of 95.50 and then 9800 for the bulls, and watch for a break below 92.50 short term, and if things get serious, 8500 for the bears. And then on June 17th, he wrote, lower time frames show compression of the price, which should lead to volatility in the next 12 hours. Reclaiming 95.50 is still the level to watch for a continuation to the upside. Break back down would lead to 92.50 and likely lower. This is the current range to watch. And before we take a look at the overall crypto market cap, let's first take a look at some of the top volume exchanges. Binance down 21% for the day with 3.1 billion in volume. Hobby Global down 22% with 2.6 billion in volume. OKEX down 4.5% with 2.3 billion in volume, and BitMEX down 13% with $1.2 billion in volume. And now checking out the overall market cap, sitting at 264 billion with 61 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, and the current BTC dominance is 64.8% according to CoinMarketCap. And now taking a look at the top gainers within the top 100, Synthetics Network up a whopping 17%, trading at $1.44. Celsius up 12%, trading at 25 cents. Ave up 11.5%, trading at 14 cents. Bancor up 10%, trading at 87 cents. Agor up 9.4%, trading at $18.54. And Nervos Network up 6%, trading at 0.004. Out of this list of bullish cryptos in the market right now. Which ones are you most bullish on? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And now taking a look at the biggest losers, Flexicoin down 34%. It's been an up and down roller coaster to say the least, trading at 0.003. Zilliqa down 9.6%, trading at 1.8 cents. Compound down 7.77%. Someone should play this and try to hit a slot machine or something. Trading at $204. Verge down 7%, trading at 0.007. Chili's down 4.8%, trading at 1.3 cents. And Ravencoin down 4.4%, trading at 2 cents. Are you bullish on any of these altcoins? If not, which altcoins are you most bullish on? Holla at your boy and let me know in the comments right down below. And now checking out the BitMEX margins, we can see the bears are obviously back in control, leading with about 58 million in superiority in the last 24 hours, with shorts leading 52.7% versus 47.2% longs. Are you currently bullish or bearish? Let me know right down below. And now checking out one of my favorite indicators, it's the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated a 38 in fear. Yesterday was a 39 in fear, last week a 38 in fear, and last month a 49, which is neutral. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign that investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. And I want to encourage you to check out the description right below this video by clicking show more in the description right down below for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the market. This goes for all 455 plus videos right here on my channel. Also have some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including the blog to my podcast, which could be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Not only is this updated every single day, it also allows you to download the latest episode of the show in MP3 format so you can listen to it when you're out and about, when you're in the car, on your way to work, or just doing your thing. Also, be sure to subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already done so. Smash that like button and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications, or you can visit cryptonewsalerts.net to do it directly. You can also follow us on all the major podcasting platforms, including Apple's iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher Radio. So whichever podcasting platform you're active on, I truly do appreciate your continued support. You can also follow us on Twitter to receive daily crypto news alerts. If you're already following us on Twitter, let me know in the comments below. And also, I have a crypto Facebook group entitled Crypto Alchemy with over 17,000 strong from all over the world. To become a part of this, simply click this link, request to join, and I'll be sure to plug you in. And for those of you active on Telegram, as I am, I do have a crypto Telegram chat. To join this, simply click this link. You'll automatically be added, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you personally on the inside. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto revolution. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts. And real quick before I go, if interested in learning from the Wall Street legend himself, who picked Apple back in 2003 and Bitcoin in 2016 as he shares his #1 pick for the 2020s, they're calling it the investment of the decade. Right now there is a mad rush in corporate America. It involves Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. They're all betting on a new technology that the World Economic Forum projects will soar 295,000% over 7 years, but it's not AI, the Internet of Things, or 5G. To discover what it is, smash the link below this video in the description to watch this exclusive presentation by the one and only Tika Twari. So check it out, and I look forward to catching you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.